everyone, welcome back to WsCube. In our today's session, we will be talking about the return statement and recursion in Python. So before we start understanding this, let's have a small recap on what we have learned in our previous session. So guys, we covered parameters and arguments in the previous session, where parameters were the name of the variables that we give after the name of our function, and arguments are the values that we pass to those parameters. Today we will be talking about the return statement and recursion in Python. Let's first understand what is return statement. So guys, return function in Python is nothing but it is used to exit a function, and it stores the value of our function inside it, and it returns it in the end of the function wherever we are calling it. So let's see how a return statement can be used in Python.
Before that, if you want to become a successful data analyst and if you want to learn from our experts live, then you can call on the given number or you can fill the form that is provided in our description. Not just that, with our every batch, you will be getting 2 demo classes for free.
So guys, here I will be taking an example of a function. I'll be writing definition, and just like how we write hello, and I'm calling this function's name as a hello, and inside I'm not keeping any parameter, just writing it in this way. Inside I want to write print hello world, and if I want to call it, all I need to do is write hello and open close the parentheses. This is how we generally do. Now, how to use a return statement to get this hello world over here? All I need to do is write over here return hello world, and then I can write in the end to call the function print hello. And if I run it, yes, it will do the same thing that our normal function would do, but this is how return stores a value inside it, and then whenever we want to get it, we can use the print statement to get that value. If you want to see another example over here, for let's say I'm gonna take an example to add 2 numbers over here. So definition add, and let's say these 2 variables are x comma y, and I'm gonna write return x plus y, and whenever I want to get the output, all I need to do is write print a and pass the values to these parameters. So let's say I have 3 comma 8. So as soon as I run it, I get the output 11 over here. So guys, this is what return statement is doing over here. It's storing the value of the function inside it, and then whenever we want it, we can use the print statement to get the output over here. So guys, here I hope what return statement is pretty much clear to you. So guys, talking about now what is recursion? In simple words, if I explain you what recursion is, that recursion means it's a function that calls itself. It allows us to loop through the data and gives us a result. That is recursion basically. So in Python, recursion is not like this, it is mandatory to use, but yes, if you use it in your program, it has several benefits as well. So we will be first learning about how recursion can be used in our program, and then we will be talking about its advantages and disadvantages in Python. So let's see first what is recursion. So guys, if I take a example of a simple function over here, if I write definition hello, and I'll open close the parentheses, put a colon, and inside we write print hello world. Okay, and if I want to call this function, all I need to do is write hello and open close the parentheses. If I run it, I get the output hello world. Okay, what if I want so many hello worlds over here? What if I don't want only one single hello? I want many hello worlds over here. All I need to do is, yes, you're right. We can use a loop over here. Any kind of loop we can use to get multiple hello worlds. But we are learning about the recursion, so let's understand how we can use recursion over here to get multiple hello worlds at the same time. So guys, recursion means looping through a data. Recursion means when a function calls itself. Python allows us to perform this function when a function can call itself. So here, if I want to call this function itself, all I need to do is write hello and open close the bracket. So here what will happen if I run this program? If I'll scroll up, you can see there are so many hello worlds, and in the end it's throwing me an error because of the limit that got exceeded. So it says previous line repeated 993 more times, so there must be some limits over here that okay, this much times only this thing will loop. So okay, basically let's understand first what is going on over here. So what happened basically over here, I created a function in which I wrote hello world, and inside it I'm also calling it. So I called it outside, and when I'm calling it inside it also there is hello world. So it's repeating and inside. So when I'm calling this, it's printing this hello world, but it is also calling this function again itself. So again it's printing hello world. Again it's calling itself, and again it's printing hello world over here. So this is what basically is going on over here. This is what recursion is. That means when a function calls itself. So now guys, you must be thinking that where this recursion can be used. So let's take another example over here where I will be finding a factorial of 8 by using recursion. Now let's understand what is factorial of 8. Factorial of 8 would be 8 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1. Right? This will be our factorial of 8, okay, which will give us a result 40320. Okay, now what we need to do over here is, with the help of the recursion, we need to find the factorial of 8. So factorial of 8 can also be written as 8 multiplied by 7 factorial. Then factorial of 7 can also be written as 7 multiplied by 6 factorial. Factorial of 6 can also be written as 6 multiplied by 5 factorial, and so on, right? Okay, we will be keeping this thing in our mind. So talking about the function over here, how this recursion will happen inside a function. Yes, you're right. You can, if you think about using a for loop over here, yes, for loop can be used where we can provide it with a value. We can create a variable, let's say 1. And then we can loop through it and multiply all the numbers. Let's say if you want to find factorial of 8, you can take the starting value as 1, ending value is 9, and you can multiply with all the numbers, right? That can be done, but here we are using recursion. So let's understand how recursion can be done. Every time we know that our value is increasing by 1. So let's consider value a is equals to, initially a is 8. In this method, what is happening? A is there, a multiplied by a minus 1 factorial is happening, right? In the next time, if it is 7, so for 7 also again we have a multiplied by a minus 1, that is 6 factorial over here, right? And it keeps going on, so on. So we will be using this formula over here inside our function, that a multiplied by a minus 1, that every time its factorial is decreased by 1, but so till when it will be decreased? When we reach 0 over there. Suppose if our value is 0, when a becomes 0, in that condition what will happen? We will return the statement by 1, that we will be putting 1 over there, we will be multiplying it with 1. So let's put it inside our Python program and see how it can be done. So guys, what we will be doing over here, we will be creating a function definition factorial. So for factorial, I'll be just writing FAC, and I'll be giving our parameter a over here, right? Okay, we know that we want a value over here. We will be using our formula that I explained to you previously. So to get it, all I need to do is write return, and what I want to return a. Every time a will be multiplied by factorial of our previous number. So I'll be writing FACT, and previous number would be a minus 1, right? This will be our formula that we will be using to fetch the factorial of a number. So till when it will be using? Till the time our a's value is equal to 0. So as soon as our a value is equal to 0, in that condition we will return 1. Now let's write it over here. Let's print it, that print FAC of 8. If I run this program, I get the output 40320. And if you remember, here also we have written 40320 as a factorial of 8. So guys, this is how you can find a factorial of any number. If you write over here, let's say 4, you get the factorial of 4, that is 24. Similarly, you can change the numbers and get the factorial of any number. This is how recursion can be used. Recursion can be a bit tricky. It is difficult to use recursion in a function, but with the practice, it can be of very much of use. So coming to the part about how recursion can be useful to us, what are the advantages of the recursion, what are the disadvantages of the recursion, let's talk about that. First of all, it makes our code look organized. Yes, in a very small 3 to 4 lines of code, we created a factorial of any number. So yes, it makes it look elegant. It makes it look more organized. We know that what is going on over there. Second thing is by the use of recursive function, a complex task. So this was a complex task to find a factorial of any number, but we broke it into a simple problem. We created a small formula to find it, and we got it, right? With the help of the recursion. Third thing over here is sequence generation becomes easier. So when you are working on any mathematical sequences, you can use recursion. Recursion can be very useful at that time. But you just have to be careful about the formulas. Next is talking about the disadvantages, that what disadvantages we have of using recursion. Recursive function can take a lot of memory. So sometimes what happens when you're using recursion, recursion means it's looping the whole data, right? It's looping through the data. So it's storing all the data inside the memory while creating a complex program, while creating a huge program. If you use recursion, it takes up a lot of memory. So that is one disadvantage. Second disadvantage we have of recursion is sometimes the logic become hard to follow. We can see over here also that yes, we took a factorial which was a very easy logic, but sometimes it becomes really difficult to follow the logic, and it becomes very hard for us to use logic in recursion. While if you do it simply by using any other method, maybe using loops or any other things, that would be much more easier than the recursion. But yes, at the same time, recursion, if you understand recursion, then it can help you a lot. It can make our complex problems very simple. Third thing over here is it is difficult to debug the recursive functions. Yes, recursive functions are very, very difficult to be debugged. So these are few advantages and disadvantages that I have enlisted about the recursive function. And I hope you guys have no doubts and no questions that what recursive functions are and what is a return statement in Python. So guys, in our next session, we will be talking about the lambda function in Python. So stay connected guys, and I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.